Hello, everybody. Aspie here. Long time no see, and I'm just making this video to talk about something which I found, which has really helped me in my life. You can see, but in August of last year, I started developing like really bad sleep issues. Like one night I would sleep, and another night I wouldn't, like almost at all. It was like the strangest thing. Like my anxiety and everything just went through the roof. And obviously, I had just moved out of my parents' house at like 28 years old, so you could tell that was pretty rough. Still been a little rough, but I'm getting through it. I'm slowly learning how to live by myself, and as you can tell, I'm no longer a kid anymore. I'm a full-grown adult. Feels weird because I've lived with my parents for so long. I felt like basically a kid my whole life, but to a lot of people I'm still a kid, but I'm clearly not. I'm now a full-grown adult. Got a job, got my own house. Well, I don't own it, I rent it, but technically it's my home. But technically a lot of this stuff in here is my property, so technically I consider it my home, but that's not really what I'm here to talk about. Today I'm here to talk about the very strange solution which I found to this. I remember I went through I remember, freaking out about this insomnia thing. I started buying supplements, looking up different like sleep hygiene and all, and none of this stuff really seemed to work. And Charlie, Penguin Zero, if you ever see this, which I highly doubt you will, you should try this too. It's I went through a lot of stuff, and I hate taking Advil PM, diphenhydramine, because that's a first-generation antihistamine, and it has been shown to have really bad side effects, and I've seen and I took it once in the form of NyQuil, and I started having like weird hallucinations / dreams, like laying on my back. I think I was asleep, but I was aware. It was weird what happened. So I got really nervous of doing Advil PM and any pills, like sleeping pills, anymore, and also because they didn't really seem to work all that well. So I can recall, just thinking about, what can I do to help me out with this problem. And one day I found a video on YouTube, and it was like the strange, the name of the video was The Strange Solution to, no, that's not the name of it. It was called This Wild Solution will fix your sleeping problems. And this man, he got on there and he started talking about this thing called grounding, which, to put it in really layman's terms, is just going outside barefoot. Because what he said was that the Earth has its own like electronic field, and there are negative ions or electrons going through the Earth. And when you are around a lot of computers and aren't connected to the Earth for a long period of time, you build up positive electrons in your body, which prevents you from sleeping, and it causes a lot of problems like inflammation, anxiety, depression, and all these things. And of course, most people would watch something like that and think, oh, that's crazy. That sounds loopy. Like, what the heck is this? But I, being basically desperate, decided to try it. And at first, I had like mixed results. Like I would eventually get to sleep. But obviously, I was very skeptical of it. But eventually it did seem to work. Some people would say it's a placebo. I think there is some legitimacy to it. May not the electron claim, but it may have like some, just being outside may cause you to feel better. And I work a job where I'm basically staring at a screen for 8 hours straight. So I can imagine that would cause me a lot of problems. So just getting outside barefoot and feeling the earth between your feet and just kind of walking around and just being outside, I think really helps you. So I did it more often, and eventually my sleeping went right back to normal. However, this would go in kind of a cycle. I would stop doing it, and eventually I would start having sleeping problems again after like a few weeks. and then I would start doing it again, and eventually it would fix the problem. So I'm now a believer in grounding. You know, I already bought a grounding mat. I also bought a rod because apparently when you plug it into your home outlet, it can cause you to absorb dirty electricity, which can actually make things worse. So that's what I did. Just spent $80 on that. It costs some money, you know, all the stuff. Well, I bought that in blue light glasses, so you know the blue light won't cause me to. It's not so much my eyes that hurt. It's more like along the lines of that that looking at blue light for long periods of time. Also, it's not just the blue light, but also the whole building inside has no windows and there's fluorescent lights on the ceiling, so that does not really make me feel all that good. So what I do, I'm gonna get one of those blue light glasses to see. That'll help me out in the long term. But yeah, this is just a random video I wanted to make. The wild solution I found to my sleeping problems. So if you ever having sleeping problems or you're just feeling bad, take your shoes off and walk outside. I mean, do it, of course, with caution, of course. If you live in a place like Florida, which has like a lot of like, you know, bugs and wildlife that can bite, I would recommend being careful, you know, getting a grounding mat and maybe plugging a rod into the ground. That would probably really help, although probably wouldn't be good to do that during a thunderstorm. So exercise caution, but still, I think I'm a believer in grounding now, and I think it has done me a lot of help. So in all, it's good talking to you all again. Stay safe and God bless. Bye.